Hi guys, welcome to Let's Go Fishing. We're fishing at Jackie Leonard and this is part 2. Now last week, or in our previous program, let me rather say that, we did an awesome morning session where we introduced you to competitive bank angling and spoke a bit more about what you need to do to get into competitive bank angling. Now I'm going to concentrate a bit more on the longer rod, see if I can get bigger fish on the longer rod. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I normally do to catch the bigger fish. There is a lot of small carp around, so if it doesn't work, at least we'll be catching carp. But it's something that you guys can do when you're at the vault to try and catch a bigger fish, when the opportunity is there to catch bigger fish. It normally works well in your deeper venues, and with the Vaaldam being this low, it is actually awesome to see that Jackie Leonard. I always thought it was a shallow venue. It's actually a very deep venue if you look at the bank behind us, and that's why the amount of fish that you catch here is just more than other venues. I'm going to fish the long rod, fish a bit deeper, try and keep it tight on a spot and change up the combos to see if I can catch a bigger fish. Come fish with us and just enjoy the show with us. I just want to give you a rundown on my left hand rod, which is my long rod that I'm fishing at around about 120 meters. Both hooks SWG float, so that's a sweet white garlic float. Just something on that float. There's no float in the market that is as sweet as the sweet white garlic float. That's why we call it SWG. So just push back into the ball, and the main reason why I do that, I want to see if I can keep it tight to the ball for a bit longer, because if they loose, the small fish pick it up very quickly. Then yellow raptor on the bomb and mixed in with the R2K. This is actually one of the combos that I'm using a lot in places like Moormans, Biermans, the shallow water venues to catch the grassies on. But it does work in the deeper water venues around the fall as well, and then we catch bigger carp with it. So let's get it out there. I'm going to give it maybe two to three casts, see if we can catch a bigger fish. As soon as we catch a bigger fish, we'll move on to the next combo to see if we can get a bigger fish on a different combo as well. Let's get it in. All right, let's get the long rod out there. Kort stock, long rod, double up. Which one am I going to take? This one feels a bit better. It's about the long rod this afternoon. It feels like a small carp again. Big or small, we catch them all. It's about having success on a day and coming, not making a feeding place, just doing what the normal guy on the street would do, but still have success. Let's get this fish in the net. It looks like I'm muddy on the deep rod. It's bouncing me around in the net. Here we go. Nice muddy. Nice points if you're a tournament angler. Awesome native fish to our country. And pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the Vaal River system. Let's go get this rod back out. Oh, I've got a fish on the other rod. Let's see what's on there. Okay, let's see what's on the short rod. I almost wound it all the way back in while playing that long rod out. Feels like a nice fish. Sometimes what happens if you're busy playing out a fish, and that, especially when they do the backbite thing, another fish bites onto the additional hook, especially Jackie Leonard. So don't be hasty. If there's snags in front of you, yes, then you must hurry up, because it can swim you into a snag. But when there's no snags, just leave it, bait up, cast out, because especially if you're fishing two rods for the muddies, sometimes it's more important to get that rod out. You don't know if that fish is on, especially when they dropping you backwards, biting backwards. Just leave it, and 9 out of 10 times you're gonna get a second fish on the second hook. Let's see what's on here. Copy. Copy, copy, copy. Boom chakalaka. That's a nice little fish. I'm going to get this in and get that long rod out. See if I can catch something a bit bigger. My long rod is ready to go back out again. Same hook bait, sweet white garlic floats pushed back into the mealy bomb, and then the Raptor and R2K mixed together. And just something on the R2K. It's a very, very unique dip. It's one of my original Muti dips that I started making back in 1994, and it still works to today. Awesome bait in the whole Vaal River system, but it also works well in places like Arties and Rode, especially when it's those steaming hot days and you want to catch those big carp. If it works for me, it will definitely work for you. Give this a bash, especially when the grasses are coming out in the Vaal. There we go. This long rod is really getting onto a tempo now, and I keep on hoping for a bigger fish, and I think there's one thing left to do, and that is cast a bit further. I'm fishing on 120 meters. I got my line marked and I'm stopping it in the area, and normally that's deep enough in the Vaal to get away from the smaller fish. But it seems like here at Jackie Leonard there's so many small fish around. Ideal for competitive fishing, but I know you guys out there are itching for a bigger fish. So I'm going to try and get that now. What I'm going to do, I'm fishing a M1 on this rod. I'm going to switch to a M1.5 and just club it, gooi it as far as I can, and see what happens then. Swimming into the net. When you catch muddies on the long rod, you know you're doing something right. It's not always that they are in the deep water, but nevertheless, competitive fishing, this would be 5 points, and there's a lot of guys out there that's not sure what to do when it's a tough day. What I've been doing on this rod, and since I've been doing it on the long rod, I've been catching a couple of muddies, and it's something that I'm going to remember for the future. I took away the dough and I started pushing the float into the mealy bomb, and the moment I started doing it, I started catching muddies. So next time when those yellows bother you, try it. It works for me. It might just work for you. Still fishing on the short rod on that 65 meters, Lodewijk and Tokolossi. Just do little white does, just basically in the bend of the hook, maybe a double rice kernel size, and that's how I've been catching some muddies and some nice carps on 65 meters. I've been working that spot the whole day. It's quite quick. When I put this rod out there, it's on within 3 to 5 minutes. There's a fish on the line. I'm going to get it back out again. The wind is pushing a bit out of the bay now, so normally it gets a bit more difficult to hit your spot. So what do? Once you cast, make sure you get your direction. Your distance is determined by the line clip, so that's not going to be a problem. But push your rod tip into the wind and keep it low, so that once you hit the line clip, the line can cut into the wind and you basically end up with a straight line. I'm going to show you how I do it, and let's hope I hit the spot. There's another fish on the short rod way. Ooh, it's really nice when you're busy baiting up your long rod. And I'm just about to throw it in, and I'm looking for my policeman, and it's in the drink. It's drifting towards me. Feels like another muddy. They are really on now. I don't think this rod has been in the water for 5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. That Lodewijk and Tokolossi, really good combination for Jackie Leonard for catching muddies. The Raptor and the Jinx as well. I went off it this morning, but you can stay on it the whole day. Normally what I would do if I fish a tournament here, I'll fish one rod at 55, one at 65, one I'll fish with Lodewijk Tokolossi, the other one with the Raptor and the Jinx, and just keep on that the whole day. I'm going to net this, get it in, and get my long rod back out. Here we go. That's a nice sized muddy. Around about 500 grams. Lekker points when you're fishing a tournament. Let's get it in. My right hand rod is ready to go out. Raptor R2K again, and then those two Kiana oozing floats, and I push them back into the bomb again. I'm switching up the floats, so maybe the floats are the business end of it. So let's see if I can get a bigger fish. I had one or two bigger fish on off camera. Unfortunately they came off, so I'm giving it a bash. Hey, we have another bite on the long rod. Fish on again. Another small one. I think this might be another muddy. And if it's a muddy again with those floats that are pushed into the mealie bomb, it's something that I have learned today. I never do it, especially at the Vaal. I like my hook baits to be sort of loose around the bomb, so that the fish pick it up a bit quicker. But there's so many fish around today that I just decided I'm going to give it a go, and I'll never do it in a tournament, but this might have given me the confidence to give it a bash in a tournament. Definitely another muddy. Here we go. Beautiful little fish. The fins almost look like a hammerhead shark. There we go. I almost had a reel run on my long rod. The line was tight as a bow snare. But now I know why it couldn't run. It's another small fish. It's been a quick fire small fish day here at Jackie Leonard. And for me personally, mission accomplished. I sorted out a couple of things. I'm fishing a tournament here very soon, and I know what to do, and that's one of the things that you're gonna have to do if you want to get into competitive angling. is practice, practice, practice. But the nice thing is every time you practice, you get out into nature. There's a couple of things, if you get the basics under the knee, you're always going to be successful, you're always going to catch fish. And that's why we have this channel. We want to not only market our products, but we want to teach you guys something. And that's our mission, to teach people something every time we do a shoot like this. Remember to subscribe to our channel, tell your friends about it, and hit that notification bell. Every time we put something new on, you'll be notified about it. And then this is my last fish. We'll see you again. Ooh, copy!